Alright guys, some people were asking why there's no header in like these window openings right here. But what you can see is the reason there's no header is you have a beam right there. That beam is about a foot by about 10 inches. A foot long, 10 foot wide, 10 foot, 10 inches wide, 12 inches, a foot high. So that's your header basically right there. You look at these hollow blocks that are spanning this gap here, and what you can see is with the mortar has rebar. You can see the rebar up in there. And so they have when they put these up here, they'll put a 2x4 across there, 2x6 across there. They kind of support it while they're putting the blocks and the mortar up there. But they have the rebar. The rebar comes down, this rebar right here, you see that right there? It comes down from that beam up there. And this rebar that's in here is tied into it. So that is giving you your support across there and holding this hollow block up there. Now in this case right here, this hollow block is just decorative. It's not going to really serve any function. It's going to be wide open here. But it's that beam up there that's going to be bearing your load up there. So you don't really have to worry about that beam flexing or starting to bend like you would in a stick house, where you'd have a big header above your windows or your openings right there. I mean, if that cement beam starts bending, I got serious problems here. And so my windows being broken or whatnot, or doors not opening, are probably the least of my problems if that beam starts bending. And you can see the same thing in here, even in the finished area in here. You can see there's the beam right there. And then they finished that hollow block there. I got 2 rows of hollow block. And then it's got the rebar going across. You can't see it, but it's in there. And that's holding your structure up there. And if we look inside the house, we go another 20 feet, and there's another beam, and then the outside beam there. So it really is the columns and the beams that are supporting everything in this cement structure. So it's much different than you would have in your stick house that we see in the West, in the U.S. Where you have your load-bearing walls, and you got lots of 4x6s and 4x10s and 4x12s and your headers for your doorways and stuff. You just don't need that here. You don't want anything with wood in your house, really. I'll have a few wood doors, but that's going to be it. Because the termites here are ferocious. They're worse than those goats out there. So that's kind of why you don't have a header in here. I mean, there really is no need for it. So I hope that answers the question on why we don't have headers. Like I said, we got that big beam up there, probably 1 foot by 1 foot or 1 foot by 10 inches. I can't remember exactly what it is. And you got rebar that's coming down, that's tied into those beams up there. That's what you see right here. And you got rebar tied into that runs across that whole length there, tied into that piece over there. And there's probably, you can see I don't know if you can see it up there, but there's 3 or 4 pieces coming down. So maybe every 2 feet, 18 inches, 12 a foot maybe, there's rebar coming down. It's about I'd say every 2 feet. Rebar coming down, and so it's all tied together there. So it really is a combination of the cement and the steel that's giving you your strength there. So that's why, and that's how it kind of just works here. Why you don't need the traditional type beam in a stick house. All right, hope that answered your question. Thanks.